Alright, boys and girls, I'm going to read to you the next story in our feelings unit. The title of this book is Harriet, You'll Drive Me Wild. Who do you think Harriet is? Look at the title, the cover page. Which one do you think Harriet is? Yep, that's Harriet. Who do you think this other person is? Yes, it's Harriet's mom. Why would someone say, "You'll drive me wild"? Has anyone ever said this to you? How did it make you feel? Let's read the story to find out why Harriet drives her mom wild. Harriet, You'll Drive Me Wild by Mem Fox. Illustrated by Marla Frazee. Harriet Harris was a pesky child. She didn't mean to be, she just was. The sentence says that Harriet is pesky. What do you think the word pesky means? Pesky means bothering people or causing trouble. How could Harriet cause trouble without meaning to? Do you cause trouble without meaning to sometimes? One morning at breakfast, she knocked over a glass of juice, just like that. Her mother didn't like to yell, so instead she said, "Harriet, my darling child." "I'm sorry," said Harriet. She was. At snack time, she dribbled jam all over her jeans, just like that. Her mother didn't like to yell, so instead she said, "Harriet, my darling child, Harriet, you'll drive me wild." "I'm sorry," said Harriet, and she was. Before lunch, when Harriet was painting a picture, she dripped paint onto the carpet just like that. Oh no! Do you think Harriet meant to drip this paint? What do you think Harriet's mother is going to say? Harriet just looks proud of her painting, huh? She probably has no idea that the paint's dripping on the floor. Do you see Harriet's mom's face? What do you think she's going to say? Her mother didn't like to yell, so instead she said, "Harriet, my darling child, Harriet, you'll drive me wild. Harriet, sweetheart, what are we to do?" "I'm sorry," Harriet said Harriet, and she was. At lunch, Harriet slid off her chair and the tablecloth came with her, just like that. Her mother didn't like to yell, so instead she said, "Harriet, my darling child, Harriet, you'll drive me wild. Harriet, sweetheart, what are we to do?" "Harriet Harris, I'm talking to you." "I'm sorry," said Harriet, and she was. How does Harriet feel right now? How do you think Harriet's mom feels right now? How can you tell? Later that afternoon, when Harriet was meant to be napping, she ripped open a pillow just like that. 1,000 feathers flew in every direction. Uh-oh. What do you think Harriet's mom's going to do this time? You think she may actually yell this time? Oh, we'll see. There was a terrible silence. Uh-oh. The mom's face goes, oh no. What am I going to do? Then Harriet's mother began to yell. She yelled and yelled and yelled. Harriet's mother doesn't like to yell though, but she does. Why do you think she finally yells at Harriet? How do you think Harriet feels now that her mom yelled? She doesn't usually yell, so I'm sure that Harriet's really upset because mommy yelled at her, and she's not usually a mommy who yells. I'm sorry, Harriet cried. I'm really, really sorry. Her mother took a deep breath. I know you are, she said, hugging Harriet tight. I'm sorry too. I shouldn't have yelled, and I wish I hadn't, but sometimes it just happens like that. Why do you think her mama takes a deep breath? When you are angry or upset, taking a deep breath can help you feel calmer. Just like in Mouse Was Mad. Mouse took a deep breath to feel calmer. Let's all try it together. Let's take a deep breath. Doesn't that make you feel better? Even if you're not feeling like anything, taking a deep breath makes you feel better, huh? Why do you think Harriet's mom says she's sorry to her, even though Harriet's mom didn't do anything? Yep, it's because Harriet's mom yelled at her, and it made Harriet cry, and she just really didn't mean to yell at her, but it just happened sometimes because Harriet was doing so many things that was driving her mama wild, and it finally got to her mama, and she had to yell. And that happens sometimes. But taking a deep breath seems to help a lot of people. All these characters have taken in our book, in our books in this unit, have taken deep breaths to take care of their feelings and calm themselves down. Big mess, said Harriet. A very big mess, said her mother. And they started to laugh. And they laughed and laughed and went on laughing as they picked up feathers together. The end. I want you to think about this book and what you are going to do today as a task for after this book. You're not going to have to draw a picture. You're not going to have to write anything. I just want you to talk to one of your family members, or your mommy or your daddy. And I want you to think about the lesson you might learn from this story. What do you think the author wants you to learn from this story? And then I want you to think about, could this story really happen in real life? Has something like this happened to you? When you're done discussing this with your family, maybe you can think of ways that you can calm yourself down, or think of ways that can help your family calm themselves down when they are acting or feeling a certain way. I hope you enjoyed this book. I really enjoyed this one. The next book that I am going to read is by the same author. Can you believe that? So I think you're going to enjoy this book. If an author writes one book and about a feeling, she's writing another book about maybe the same feeling or a different feeling. But usually when you listen to a book, it's by the same author. It's written and illustrated in a similar way. Just like in Eric Carle books, all of his books are illustrated a certain way, and they all have a certain theme. So I believe that this author's theme of her books are about feelings, which I think is a great theme for books. All right, boys and girls, I will see you tomorrow, and you will be able to listen to the next book tomorrow.